Welcome to Second Take Sports Talk with Ronnie Roberts. I'm the co-host, Rashaki Maskani, and today we have Professor Armin Rahh and Brother Port. And Ronnie is our host, and I'm going to turn it straight over to him. All right, Brother Ronnie.
Good evening, everybody. This is probably third, fourth, maybe fifth iteration of the Second Take show, focusing on sports and contemporary sports issues. Got a number of topics to discuss today. First one, and I just saw this on ESPN today, was Jeff Kent, who was a second baseman for the San Francisco Giants for many years. I don't know if you guys follow baseball like that, but he played along with Barry Bonds. And he was inducted by the Veterans Committee into the Hall of Fame. And Jeff Kent, hell of a baseball player, didn't get elected in the traditional way, but they got the Veterans Committee that takes care of overlooked players. He has the most home runs of any second baseman ever in professional baseball and was a well-deserved entrant into the Baseball Hall of Fame. My commentary on that leads into two of the greatest players that obviously not going to make the Hall of Fame that I can think of. Number one would be Barry Bonds, who I got to see play early on, and who I consider, in my judgment, and I'm not an expert, I've never seen a baseball player any better than him. You could talk about Babe Ruth, you could talk about Willie Mays, you could talk about Hank Aaron. Barry Bonds was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, baseball players ever. And it's just a criminal shame that obviously he used steroids. Obviously, Roger Clemens, one of the greatest pitchers I've ever seen. Tito and I saw him, was sitting right behind the bullpen in Anaheim Stadium, and he was 39 at the time and still throwing smoke, still one of the dominant pitchers in the game. We could go on with other guys who are not going to make it because of the steroid era, such as Sammy Sosa would be one who had 660 home runs. What's the white guy's name? Mark McGwire, and other noted players. What did they cheat? Well, everybody was cheating during that time. Major League Baseball allowed it. They knew that it was going on, and the pitchers who were pitching to him were juiced. The infielders were juiced. The whole league was juiced during this period. And A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, is another guy that's not going to get in because of that. It just seems to be an injustice to me to a degree, particularly when you're leaving out one of the greatest players, surely top five, and one of the greatest pitchers ever, but that's a whole nother story. You can't say that it smacks of racism because Roger Clemens was a white guy, obviously. Mark McGwire, who started off shooting all those home runs, was another white guy, but how do you have a Hall of Fame and your greatest players are not in there one way or another? But that's America spelled with 3 Ks. I'm going to divert from there. I want to go into Shedeur Sanders, who sat on the bench for the Cleveland Browns until, 3 games ago? And Joe Flacco started the season off. After 3 games, they traded him to, Cincinnati, and immediately elevated Dylan Gabriel, a guy who played at Port Wood's alma mater, the University of Oklahoma. And also, he's a Hawaiian guy, and he came in, had a really good year with us, with the University of Oklahoma. That's not us. I'm an Oklahoma State guy. Be that as it may, Dylan Gabriel is 5'11", probably 190 pounds, doesn't have great arm strength, very accurate. He can dink and dunk you all day. But no way, no form, no fashion is he half the quarterback that Shedeur Sanders is. Well, Gabriel unfortunately, I don't wish injury on any player in any avenue of the game. He got hurt, so they had to play Shedeur. Shedeur came in the first game. It was a disaster. 4 out of 17. The starting lineman didn't even know his cadence because he hadn't gotten any first-team reps in camp whatsoever. Just a gross injustice. But This
You
stuff.
talking about Ronnie? That
Yeah.
was the game that he came in when the guy got hurt.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was 4 out of 17, some ridiculous stuff. Looked horrible. But the very next game he's played, the Browns won. And it was the first game he started. It was the first game a rookie quarterback had started for the Cleveland Browns in 30 plus years with a victory. Now, Cleveland has been known for recycling quarterbacks, particularly in the 21st century. Um, their coach is Kevin Stefanski, who has won 2 Coach of the Year awards. And from what the guys tell me, and from watching First Take and other venues, he's definitely not a racist. I don't think hardly any professional coaches can afford to be racist because it's incumbent upon them to put the best player on the field to win so they can keep their jobs. But it was clearly, we talked earlier about the fact that Shedeur dropped so low in the draft, was a fifth round draft choice. And I think Dylan Gabriel was a third round draft choice. At any rate, he finally got on the field to start the game and won his first game, first outing, had a good outing, threw for over 50%, threw a touchdown, and looked pretty good. Then yesterday, then the week after that, he played one of the better teams in the league, struggled a little bit, but still was decent, and then had a breakout game where he threw set a rookie record for throwing for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air and 1 on the ground. And then the gross injustice happened. They're down 31-29, and they go for 2 points. And Kevin Stefanski, for some reason, benched Shedeur to have the ball shifted to a wide receiver named Quincy Junkins with a junk play down there on the 3-yard line. And of course, the play was a disaster. Now, whether Shedeur could have made this play happen or not, just the very threat of him being on the field, and he was wearing the Tennessee Titans defense out all day. That makes me think something's wrong there. Something's really wrong.
Can I jump in on this?
You sure can. Go ahead.
Now, I was watching. I'm out here in Los Angeles, so I'm only able to watch the games that come on, the regular channels because I don't have any of the other channels that gives you those games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to watch this game. So I'm watching darn near the whole game, and
he balling.
huh?
He was balling.
Well, I'm talking about this is against Frisco.
Mm-hmm.
So the game, I didn't particularly like the game. I just didn't like it too much. But when it was in the third quarter, the game was in the third quarter but they were in the third quarter and it was 10-8. They had the ball on their own 33 and it was fourth and 1. And they went for it. They took, Shedeur was out there, but they hiked it to another guy, went for it. And right after that, they went for it, they turned the ball over on downs. And then Frisco scored. Then they scored again. And it just didn't make any sense to me that you would go for a first down on your own 33 and the game is 10-8.
Right.
So I know you said, Ronnie, that they wasn't going to win the game anyway. I
Right.
don't, I don't, if you're in the game, I think you got a chance to win the game.
Sure you do.
So when they didn't punt, I thought something was very suspicious then. So that just made everything suspicious to me because that didn't make any sense. If you're out there trying to win, you say they're trying to win, they talk about they do this and do that, but it's just that didn't add up to me. So by him taking them out in this last game at the end, I didn't see the game. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. And I'm not gonna speak any further about it.
But the kicker about that, I understand that whatever that trick play they tried on the extra point, that's all the controversy is about them going for 2 points on the extra point in order to tie the game up.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur was on there talking about it, and he said, well, we practiced that play quite a bit. But the kicker was, the guy asked him, said, well, when you practice the play, did it work? He said, no. And he cracked up laughing. He said it didn't work. And so everybody, it brings to mind, well, why would you try that in the game if it didn't work in practice? But I'm sure he wasn't supposed to let that out of the bag, that they had actually practiced that play quite a bit. And it did the same thing, basically the same thing that happened in the game. It didn't work. So I just thought that was really funny. And I don't think that really, probably the coaches and so forth, I don't think that set too well with them for him to let that secret out to say, because it didn't look like they had practiced it. So, but he kind of just laughed it off and said, it didn't bother him that they took him out. But we know that might not be true.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rahh, what's your take on this, man?
You're on mute, Rahh.
Your microphone is muted.
Well, I always look at sports as crooked anyway. The coach, I disagree that he's not, I agree he's not a racist, but he could be prejudiced. And he's been messing with Shedeur all year.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't let him take no reps. Wouldn't put him in when he could have put him in. And then when he did put him in, like you say, it looked like he was hoping that he failed. I don't think he wanted him on the team. But, the general manager probably made that move. They got too many layers in decision making. We don't know who called down and said, do this. You have a play coordinator. And I don't know what he was about. That may have suggested taking him out. I don't know, but I just, ever since Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston fought, and I betted all my money on Sonny Liston in high school, and I had to pay people. I never saw the punch, and Sonny Liston just sat down. I said, "Damn, I ain't into sports no more." And with the recent referees cheating and shaving points and making sure you don't get a certain amount of points, a lot of that's going on, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And for a coach to be on the three, it's just like when Seattle was in the Super Bowl, going to win the second Super Bowl. They didn't get the ball to Maskani or whatever he did. And instead, they tried to make the quarterback the hero. And he got intercepted through something. I mean, I can't get into sports and take it serious no more. As far as pros, and even in college, there's a lot of shaving points and a lot of things. And when it comes down to Shedeur, though, I think that he gets a bad rap because of his daddy.
Oh, no question.
And
question.
That he, I mean, he was. Question. I mean, how you draft a person like that? The last person to be drafted. After he performed so well in college. And everybody projected him to go number 2 or 1. That don't even make sense to me. So that's why, I watch sports for entertainment and for cats that catch the ball with one hand and look for a good game, a close game. When it's blowed out, I turn anyway. I don't want to see the results when you got 30 points ahead in the last 4 minutes.
Well, at least one of the things that happened, they did announce that Shedeur would be starting the rest of the season.
Well,
That's pretty obvious.
you didn't have no choice, but
No choice.
It's over. That season is
That's
really over. So, it's not like they're playing for anything. They just seeing what he do for the rest of the season. But at the same time, what they're going to do with him after that season. That's what you got to look at.
That's a good question.
Now, one thing I hope that come out of this is that he goes to a team that somebody wants him. I mean, I'm wondering if is it possible for him to go to another team that actually want him to be their quarterback? Because Cleveland don't look like they want him to be their quarterback.
Highly possible.
So it'd be good if he went to a team that actually want him. I hope that happens.
Definitely some teams in the league that need quarterbacks.
Yeah. But him starting for the rest of the year will at least give him a chance to show what he can do. I mean, he did that yesterday.
Yeah.
But 300, it was more than three. It was 364 that he threw for. Nobody had done that. I mean, no rookie quarterback has thrown for that much this year.
Hardly any veterans have thrown for that much this year.
Right.
Really.
Right. So
behind the poorest offensive line and beside Myles Garrett, a shaky defense.
Yeah. And he's throwing the ball down the field. I mean, most of the quarterbacks, even the better ones, it's a 6-yard pass on a 40-yard run or something like that.
Right.
Shedeur's throwing the ball down the field.
As he always has done.
You got to throw it down the field and finish with 364.
Oh, yeah.
But that dink and dunk is that's what they're doing these days. Anybody that can throw it down the field got a spot as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to chime in on that.
Hey, Rick, how you doing? Glad you came out today.
How y'all doing?
All right.
We're good.
Good. Yeah, I was going to chime in on exactly that. Shedeur is showing that he's pretty accurate downfield. So I believe they should let him go ahead and finish out the rest of the season. Not sure what Cleveland's plans are for the future, but I see a lot of promise in Shedeur. I didn't see the whole game, but I'd like to see him in a whole game. But I guess I'll get my chance to see the whole game one time. But I like him going downfield. I mean, I didn't see the wide receiver have to break stride or anything. So I kind of believe in him right now.
All right.
Yeah, Rick, glad to have you. Glad to see you as always. We talked earlier about Barry Bonds and one of his ex-teammates getting inducted into the Hall of Fame and some of the injustices behind that. Moving on, they did, as Fort said, they did announce today that Shedeur would be starting for the rest of the year. One of the good things about the scenario in Cleveland is that Deshaun Watson, the quarterback that's getting $34 million a year not to play, even though he's injured and hurt, has been mentoring him on some of the nuances of the game, which is a beautiful situation. They don't know what they're going to do with Deshaun. I doubt if he'll ever hit the field for Cleveland again, but because they still owe him millions of dollars. But obviously, he has shown not only the Cleveland Browns, but the NFL what's happening. Obviously, something needs to be done about Kevin Stefanski's decision yesterday to take him off the field at such a critical time. And somebody needs to answer for the fact that he's been sitting on the bench all year, not even getting any reps with the first team, which is not so unusual for a third-string quarterback and a fifth-round draft choice. But, when they traded Joe Flacco and he became the backup, he's got to get some first team reps. But that's coaching decision, and as Rashaki intimated earlier, that could have came down from the general manager. Well, Rahh said the same thing. It's so layered, and a lot of the owners in pro football are activists because they all think they know what's going on. We don't know if the call was made by Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns. We don't know if the call was made by the general manager. But I suspect that Kevin Stefanski was overruled and told, hey, you got to get this ball on the field. For fans, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Shedeur has one of the top 10 selling jerseys in the NFL. And anytime he hits the field, the fans just go crazy. So Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, thinking, man, this is about money. That's what they're all about. And if you give that Caucasian, that European Caucasian, some more dollars, he don't care what you. He'd have a monkey out there. Am I wrong, guys?
Well, no, I'm just thinking about when it comes to Cleveland Brown quarterbacks. I mean, I can't remember when they didn't make a mistake as it pertains to that. I mean, who's the last steady, solid quarterback that that Cleveland has had?
Hadn't been one in the 21st century.
That's what I'm saying.
They ran out Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, if they did something right with regard to quarterbacks, it would surprise me. I mean,
me as well.
Man.
And there's so much politics in that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we discussed this earlier, Rahh, that Deion's larger-than-life presence hurt his kid when it came to the NFL draft.
Yeah, but there was politics before Deion then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But politics is like anytime, and it's not really politics. It's a good friend of mine, Don Corcoli, says politics.
Yeah.
Poor knows Don Corwell, one of my roommates in college, but it's politics.
Yeah.
This is all about trickery, and it's all about money, and it's all about maintenance of white supremacy.
Well, yeah, that's why they keep some of them white boys who can't play.
Can't say let's play. That's right.
Yeah, they just gotta have some white boys in there. I mean, I played with Tarkanian, and he had to play two white boys.
Oh yeah.
When we was at Long Beach State. Although he had All-American kids that he had recruited, he played two white boys. One of the white boys at least went 3 games without making a point, but he kept starting. And I'm just saying there's so much politics and trickery, how they did Comanak, how they did Raymond Lewis, how they did
Raymond Lewis. Yep.
How they did a lot of ball players, cut them and kept the white boys. And the white boys was making more money than some of the brothers that was starting, sitting on the bench in many of them sports. We look at it for the game and for enjoyment and things of this nature. But as Ronnie was saying, it's about money.
All about money. And control.
It's also about appeasing the white audience who's the season ticket holders.
Exactly.
I mean, you got corporations that buy suites and stuff for, the tax write-offs and things and entertainment of business people, letting them go to games and giving them suite tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, sports is no longer a family game. The baseball used to be, but they're turning it into when the World Series comes. Or playoffs, can't take your family.
Too expensive.
Too high. Them tickets would be too high, man.
Yeah.
Unless you're a multi-millionaire. I mean, just think about it. You're a fan, and you support them the whole year. then when the playoffs come, you're not a season ticket holder, but you're just a good fan. Sit in the low seats or mid price seats, and you can't even get into the the Super Bowl or World World Series or the Final Four or whatever in basketball and things. It's nice because the tickets are all gone.
Yeah.
Through corporations and businesses. So it's all about, economics and gambling. Oh man, they didn't change the game on gambling, Ronnie. You can bet a cat miss a free throw.
Yes, absolutely. And that's just greed on the Europeans' part again. They've legalized it.
Yeah. They got sports books all on TV.
And ex-stars shilling for them. Getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed that at length in the last meeting. It's shameful, but again, it's all about greed and getting that dollar. Portwood and I have season tickets to the Thunder, and we've had these for many years. We got in at a good time, and can still go to the games at a reasonable price because have been in for a while. Even being season ticket holders, we have to pay for the playoff game separately. We get to hold on to our seats during the playoffs, but we have to pay for each game, and it's on an escalating scale. And it's literally double, and by the time you get to the finals, triple what our normal season ticket costs are. But, we all buy into that, and it's a privilege to get those season tickets. It's a privilege to have a season ticket, number one. It's a privilege to have the economic wherewithal to even buy one, number two. Number three is a huge privilege to be able to get those playoff tickets. And we pretty much watched, his nephew and we sold our finals tickets for the playoffs, for the Thunder game against Indianapolis. I got my tickets, I think they cost me $300 or $400. I got $3,500 for a pair of them. So and we watched it on my big screen TV and had a party. So it's more than a notion. It's business, man. But it's fortunately we got in earlier, many years ago when they were still struggling to get these tickets, and now that they've blossomed, you can't get a season ticket to the Thunder anymore. You can't buy one. And we're all of our tickets, it's four couples, all of our tickets on the club level. You have the floor, then you have the club level, then you have the third level, and they call that Loud City. Well, our stadium, our arena hosts 19,000, just like Paycom or CryptoCom, whatever it is now. We're Paycom. There's CryptoCom for the Lakers.
Yeah.
And the prices are almost identical because I had a quarter of a season ticket to Laker games for the last 5 years I was in LA. The prices are pretty much the same. But on the club level where Port and I sit, they have all of these suites. That's what the suites are. And as you said earlier, Rahh, they're all owned by corporations. And I asked my ticket lady last year, what would it take for a group of friends of mine to rent a suite for a playoff game? And she said, well, since you guys are season ticket holders, I could get you in for $1,000 apiece. Well, we're retired brothers who worked hard and we ain't begging, but we ain't got no $1,000 apiece to go to no basketball game. No kind of way in the world. And so all of the people sitting in these suites are nothing but businessmen and their customers and their employees.
Yeah.
So it's a tiered system that pretty much just excludes us because of pure economics alone.
Sure. And the thing about it is that, but we still have the only thing we have left, we pretty much figured out years ago that we're not going to win against money.
No, never.
Yeah,
No.
but we can win. We can still win the bitchathon. So we'll always have that to fall back on. But that's the only thing I know to do.
No doubt about it.
When it comes to trying to fight against the power of money and as you call it, greed.
It's just pure greed. They got all the money in the world and they want all the rest. They want yours, mine. And it goes back. Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, that greed is taking over the whole world at this time.
Yep.
It's just but you can't blame anybody for it's. I've come to the conclusion that it's just a human flaw.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
what they call it, avarice in the Bible, greed, avarice. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has the answer.
No.
And no. It's just I just think that we haven't evolved enough to solve some of the problems that we're incurring. So I think one of these days we will. They had problems that we see as simple now. I tend to want to look at the positive side of almost anything, but back in the day, I mean, they've solved problems that back 30 years ago, they didn't think that they'd ever be able to solve. They didn't really solve the problem, but they got around the problem at the expense of things like the gentleman was saying earlier. He mentioned boxing had to do that. That was my first love in sports.
All of our loves, yes.
And my dad and I.
Friday night fights.
Oh yeah, and that's when it was. And those were the only fights. Now you see all sorts of fight, whatever the sports event. But it used to be once a week. We used to have one football on Saturdays. I go back that far.
Mm-hmm.
And but boxing is completely different. It's been ruined for over 20 years now, as far as I'm concerned.
More than that, really.
Yeah. So
more than 20 years.
Yeah, and nobody said. I heard that what's the guy that has the what is it called, the kickboxing? They call it what is it, UFC?
Yeah.
Okay, Dana
White, the guy that's a big Trump fan and Trump man. Yeah.
Right. Well, he was supposed to be getting a plan together to head a committee for boxing. I remember hearing him talk, I guess, and he was on TV talking about starting almost a tournament like he did with the UFC or whatever it is. And he's supposedly going to do it with boxing. And that was the best. That's the most positive idea I've heard in a long time to get. I mean, if he could do at least what he's done for the UFC, but I don't know how much, what will come of it. I don't know how sincere he was, but I don't have any reason to believe that he wasn't sincere. And it made me feel good that they might take boxing and do something with it. I love boxing.
They got too many belts.
Yeah, they got too many belts.
They got 100 belts. I mean, cat trying to unify the belts and all of this, as you have said, both of you, it's about money.
Absolutely.
So every fight's a championship fight for some strange belt.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's not about money.
Anything dealing with the European is going to be about money.
It's going to be about money.
One of the things I used to tell my kids, about 20 years teaching in Long Beach, and Rashaki and I taught at Reed High School and with the most challenged kids in the district, and it was and most of the kids were Hispanic and Black, And that's what you're going to find in alternative schools. And the few white kids we had were completely crazy. But be that as it may, I would tell the kids all the time that, guys, if you can't get along with guys that look like Rashaki and myself, what are you going to do when you get out there in the real world? Because we don't have no jobs to offer you. I mean, you're going to have to go to work for the white man. Who do you think is paying Rashaki and myself? If you can't get along with us and figure it out, and we're here trying to help you and you acting a fool and clowning with us, what are you going to do when you get out into the real world and got to go to work for Mr. Charlie? You're going to fail. You're going to fail.
You're not going to have to worry about it, Ronnie. Elon Musk just told you that in 10, 20 years, I mean, work will be optional.
Yeah.
You didn't believe that?
I heard that. I heard that. Work will be optional for white folk. It ain't going to never be optional for us. I don't ever believe that. I don't ever believe that.
Yeah, I don't think Elon is including everybody else.
Well, he's a South African dude.
These youngsters don't have a plan. By the time they get to the ninth grade, what they're gonna do as far as getting skills or getting intellectual skills or either vocational skills, they're in trouble anyway.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, and you got so many kids in foster homes that just take the money and they're not required to graduate them or have a counselor or I mean, how you just let somebody take some kids for the money and don't require them to develop them children? You know, they make up the majority of the homeless.
Absolutely.
So what we have to what has to be done is a plan to correct these mistakes. The youngsters that want to play sports, you know, we were hungry when we were playing.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
trying to get out the hood. We were motivated. A lot of these kids think they can be rappers. You know, they ain't even into sports like we used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to find black kids playing baseball.
Yeah.
And then you got Pop Warner and things of this nature, which is good. You know, but it's a different game out there now. And you got concussion protocols and rules about not hitting them this way or that way. It's a different game out there.
It's a different game too. That would be something that might be worth discussing in the sense that not only is it a different game, the games, especially this particular year, seems to be there are so many more injuries. I don't understand how these people can bet on the game anyway. They can't ever tell who's going to be playing.
Really.
There's so many injuries.
Yeah,
But to me, it makes sense that, especially with football, if people keep getting bigger and running faster, then people are going to keep getting hurt.
It's like a vulture hitting you.
There's a limit to how big and fast you can be and run into each other.
Yeah.
Man,
But they don't discuss it. I don't think because they don't know when you don't have the answer. See, the man, they don't have the answer. What are we going to do about all these injuries?
well, like Bill Russell said, basketball is a contact sport, but football is a collision sport.
Right.
And you got to look at the position that they put many of these African Americans in. They're the positions that generally you're gonna get hurt. You know, I mean, you're trying to tackle a fullback 200-some pounds, and then nobody touched him. You know, you won't slip. You act like you missed him. You know, I saw one game the other day
I would.
On a kickoff, the gunner just ran by the man. I said, "What? what's going on here? You know, how you gonna be the gunner? You got a clear shot at the man, and you run past him.
Well, that's a business decision.
That's a health decision.
Right.
That's why it's a business decision. Yeah.
That's why it's a business. Yeah.
You'll have to miss this one. Better luck next time.
You got him, dog. And look over at the other cat next to him. That's your man. Go get him.
Hey, hey.
I remember Jack Tatum and Night Train Lane. And,
Oh my God.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Night Train Lane.
yeah, they used to, you know, they used to catch you by the neck. You know, I forget what they called it. And the same thing.
The clotheslining.
Clothesline, yeah.
Jack Tatum, them you go up there and they smoke they dope and do that and talk about who they gonna hurt. He wrote about it in his book. You know. Oh man, it's crazy. Man, I was supposed to play football, and they prepare you for combat, and they want you to run and dive up in the air like you're a military dude and land on your stomach. I just kept on running. Kept on running back to the gym.
And play some hoops.
Play some basketball, man. I said, man, I ain't diving on no stomach.
Yeah, all you guys were hoopers. All you guys were hoopers. I was the only one to play football. Vic's a hooper. Rashaki.
We all
was a hooper.
In football, you got to love. You can't be afraid of the ground. You see them cats. They hit the ground, man.
I didn't try to play football. I was too small.
And they didn't change the game. These cats was with gloves that stick. You understand? Catching one-hand balls. And, oh, man, there's so much craziness going on. You know, it's just crazy. I mean, some of them are good, you know. But they're catching. We was always taught you put two hands on the ball.
Absolutely.
You know, in baseball, two hands on the ball. Man, they got gloves big as a house. And they go out there and they just no wonder they can rob people from hitting home runs. The glove is tall as the damn.
Yep.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
Are we gonna talk about Chris Paul?
Yeah. As everyone here knows, Chris Paul was let go on a road trip at night by the Clippers. The team president, the president was the general manager, Lawrence Frank, informed him that they were letting him go in the middle of a road trip. And when they brought Chris Paul into the Clippers, they told him, we're going to let you finish your career here at home. He always wanted to get back to LA to be close to his family where he lives. And he never moved his family from LA, even though he played his last year in San Antonio. Prior to that, he played in Houston. Prior to that, he played in Phoenix. But Chris has always kept his family in LA. If you spend any time in LA like we all have, poor to spend significant time in LA, aren't you going there for Christmas to see your Ye's kids? Report. Aren't you going to spend Christmas in LA?
Oh, yes.
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 Yeah, all of us who have spent some time in LA, and all of us have, had 20 good years there, man. 20 really, really good years in LA. And I tell people all the time, LA is the greatest city on planet Earth. I ain't been to all the cities on planet Earth, but I've been to a few. But it has a combination of everything in the world you could possibly dream for. It is a place where you can be yourself, no matter if you're LGBTQ, whatever the hell you are, you can be that in LA and be that comfortable there. One of the most celebrated places in LA of all for the world is Hollywood, which is 80% gay. Be in LA. And then to top it off, it has the weather. It's just incredible.
Mm.
But it's expensive to live there. And it's I wouldn't call it a family town. Some portions of it are. You can go out to the suburbs, as folks with money can do. It can be a great town, but you know, you look at LA and you think about it from a demographic standpoint. Black people are really way underrepresented in LA. Percentage-wise, there are more black people in Oklahoma City than LA.
You say what wise?
Percentage-wise.
Okay.
Percentage-wise, it's less than 10% of blacks in LA, and we got 15, 16% in Oklahoma City, and about the same in Tulsa. But percentage-wise, and it's about, again, what Rahh has said, what Rashaki has said, what you said, economic, just affordability. It's about economics. We can't afford to live there. And then so many of us that are there in LA are on our knees because we don't have resources. Because we don't have resources, we didn't get proper education. And without education, dude, man, you're in big trouble in a place like Los Angeles. Oh my God.
That I didn't know that. I don't know about the tenor of politics and all that sort of thing in the LA area. But when I was coming up, I always heard that you could go to UCLA free.
Yeah, you can't go now. Ain't nothing free in LA, dude.
Well,
nothing free.
We called it Juicy LA.
Yeah.
Ain't
nothing free in LA, dude.
Funny though.
Yeah, but LA is a complex area.
Oh my God, is it?
You got a lot of suburbs. You have suburbs in the middle of LA. They just say, hey, look, we ball in hills, but you're right in the middle of LA. And, you way up on top of the hills and got big old mansions and stuff.
But you get down the bottom hill, you're in the hood.
The same way with all them other cities. Long Beach, you got Bigsby Knoll, you got Belmont Shores, right? But they're all in Long Beach. So, white folks carve out, and why they make it so expensive is to keep black people out.
And it does.
Well, yeah, it's a form of gerrymandering and
economic gerrymandering.
Yeah, and a sense of redlining. I mean, it's hard for black people to get finance to buy a house, and like Ronnie was saying, the houses are so expensive now. Most kids still stay at home with their mom and daddy.
They have no choice, and their mom and daddies, in many cases, are renting.
Yeah, but if you got in a little earlier, they had programs in which to help you buy a house. But they don't have them programs now, and it's all about condos, and they're going straight up, like New York, straight up.
And they run out of land.
Yeah, but a lot of them buildings that they build down Crenshaw and certain areas, they're not filling them up. And they only have about maybe 10 to 20 low-income places in there. And they're not filling those places up like they thought they were going to. So they was banking on white folks and middle-class people to come and get those places to be closer to their job, to be closer to the Hollywood, closer to, things of that nature. But it's not working out the way they want. And you got so many homeless people in LA. I mean, it is. And SUVs and cars and living on the street. And it's an issue, man.
When you
buy a house, you buy a neighborhood.
Sure.
You don't just buy.
Sure.
You want a place that got amenities around you, and
Sure.
like one comedian said, man, when I see Starbucks and Panera Bread, I know I'm out of the
Yeah.
hood. It's a different game. I'm telling you, man.
When you say it's not working out, it's not working out for whom?
For the investors and the people that
Okay.
that built those big skyscraper apartments.
Okay.
Then they got businesses up under it and underground parking, and people ain't buying or renting them or leasing them like they thought they were.
Yeah.
I mean, a sister told me at least in one building, 3 floors had not been rented of apartments. Because not leased or rented, and that's on Crenshaw. Like if you go down to the beach and all that, that's a whole new different ball game. You
Okay.
know, when you go out to Mimosa Beach, Redondo Beach, Long Beach, people want to be, that's what rich people want us to look out and see some water. But other than that, man, it's rough. The housing industry is really taking a
A
bad,
beating down.
beat down.
Yeah. Well, it's just the opposite. I know it was 5 or 10 years ago. They're building nothing but apartment houses in the Dallas area. I mean, they were going up as fast as they could, build them. So I was interested to see what was happening out in California, but in Texas, ah, if you go down there right now, they're building them apartment houses.
Mm, couldn't do it. I couldn't live in an apartment. I've been in this house for 25 years.
Oh no! Once you live in, no, you can't go back to apartments.
No. How
Yeah,
long you been in your house, Port?
You say what?
How long have you been in your house?
Ah, 50 years.
50 years.
I moved in 75.
Mm-hmm.
50.
Really nice
Um,
house.
so Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
now you were saying you didn't get to Chris Paul.
Oh, Chris Paul. Well, to make a long story short, we got Chris Paul has always known to have an acerbic, abrasive personality. Chris Paul,
Explain that.
yeah, Chris Paul, much like Kobe, much like Mike, they were hard on teammates, hard on coaches even. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to contribute to a winning atmosphere, they're gonna get in your butt. That simple. Now, the great players, when you're a great player, you can get away with stuff like that. Chris Paul is obviously extremely diminished as far as his skill set is concerned. He's 40 years old. He never has played above the rim. His shooting percentage is like 32%. He's averaging a career low 4 or 5 points a game on about 10, 12 minutes a game, and he has gotten several DNP coaches decisions this year. So he's not the player he once was. But one of the noted incidences was when he got on Kawhi Leonard, who was constantly hurt. Well, Kawhi had come back and they were playing the Dallas Mavericks. And Klay Thompson, who is not the same Klay that he used to be, not the Hall of Fame Klay anymore, was just roasting Kawhi, who was one of the great defenders at the small forward position in the game. And Chris Paul was getting on him and says, "Well, man, are you sure you up to stand with Klay? Because if you give Klay a minute, he's gonna be shooting, and he still can shoot the ball, not like he did before because his legs are gone. But he was kind of Klay was working him, and so he asked him, "Are you ready to do it?" So he takes it up on himself to say, "You need to make a switch." Well, that pissed off Stan Van Gundy, who runs the Clipper defense.
Uh-huh.
So he and Van Gundy get into it after the game, and said, and then of course Ty Lue, who reportedly hadn't spoken to him in a month before they let him go, because
Hadn't
he's got
spoken to Chris?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Chris was still coming at the players like he was a contributing superstar, which he was for most of his career.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't mesh well. That just doesn't mesh well. When you're making defensive switches in the middle of a game, and that's the coach's job, and the coach's responsibility. Well, Stan Van Gundy took exception to that fact, and of course, he had already rubbed Ty Lue wrong.
Okay.
So, make a long story short, he was doing things that he was doing as a superstar that you can't do as an end of the bench reserve, and a guy getting DNP coach's decision. To make a long story short, I think that they could have handled that a heck of a lot better for a player of his stature, who they brought in to finish his career.
Sure.
There's a way to do it. You don't send a man home in North Carolina in the middle of the night and tell him you go home.
Sure.
Fly back with the team.
Not a future Hall of Famer.
No, not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and one of the NBA's top 75 players.
But
it's a way to do stuff.
Let me say this, Ronnie. You just made a great point that when your role changes, your ability diminishes. You have to. I would say you would have to make an adjustment to best benefit the team. And so if he was being disruptive like that, some of these people that's paying you, and they get kind of upset when you don't make an adjustment to try to benefit the team, and they just probably got under their skin so much that they said this dude got to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, no matter, I don't care who he is, but they already losing, they frustrated, and you just add more fuel to the fire. So it could have been that he could have been that annoying for them to let him go like that.
Yeah, but you got to handle that better.
Well, they couldn't handle him better.
Well,
I mean,
Chris Paul is one of the dudes. He's
he
with his ability. You can't handle him.
He could have been doing that required them to just. They could have waited until they got back off the trip.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, he must have got under their skin that bad.
He did.
And it was like, send that dude home. I don't care who he is, especially one of them slave owners. No, send the slave home. But I mean,
well, obviously that's what happened.
Definitely, it's like we got the best out of you. We can get a new slave. We need a new one to bring them people in the seats. You can't pull nobody back out here. So hey, it's a cold slave system we in. It is cold out here.
Yeah, it is.
But I just try to bring a little humor with that though. But
sure.
But still, he's a potential Hall of Famer.
No, he is a Hall of Famer. First off.
Yeah, and not only that, he was over the Players Union.
Exactly.
And second, when they did play him, he did good. I mean, if you watch the games, he had a couple of shots and made some good assists. What he was criticizing them for was what they were doing to make the team lose. I mean, if you got a coach, owner that's paying Kawhi Leonard up under the table, and you got a coach with a big ego, even though he's short.
Yeah, little man, Napoleon complex.
And then you don't want to. I'm on Chris Paul's side. I mean, from my standpoint, they could have just said, "Hey, look, we're gonna just let you just play here and there till the end of the season." I mean, they would. I mean, it wasn't like the Clipper was championship contenders.
No, they're 6-16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so, what you gonna blame a man that only plays off the bench for your losses because he criticized or make comments about what should be done?
Mm.
That don't even make sense. I mean, he done that. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, Chris Paul has been the way he is for
Since
years,
he got in the league.
and he's been with the Clippers. He was that way. He's been with all the other teams. They knew what they were doing when they got him.
Right.
They knew who he was. They can't get mad at him for being him.
Mm-mm.
Right. If you losing and somebody's chirping and going against what you want to do,
Right.
it's difficult. It's difficult to listen to people when you can't figure it out and you running it, and then they're gonna come and tell you it's like, okay, Chris, do you want to get out of uniform and become a coach? It's challenging. It's just
If they
a
had been winning,
challenging thing.
if they had been
They didn't
winning,
brought him there for it. They didn't bring him there to do that. They brought him there to let him play out his year. He had
Well,
already
but
announced he
you
was
gotta agree, right? You can't sit there and they tell you like, okay, man, look,
we
you
don't.
need to.
This is
I
what
mean,
this is
if the
what
coach,
they saying about him. We don't know if he just was just sitting on the bench.
oh man,
We don't know. I mean,
I'm not definitely not taking the owners in them or none of their sides. I'm just saying, man, when people get on your nerves, they get on your nerves. When it's time to break up, but when it's time to break up, sometimes the breakup ain't gonna go the way you want it to go.
Oh yeah, that's for
that's
sure.
Because
it's not. It's
when is
not.
a good time to leave when you're breaking up?
Well,
It could
but
happen at any time.
you don't do it when the cat going to the airport to get on the
Yep.
plane.
Well, hey, sometimes it happens. I'm just, I man, uh, okay, I understand. I heard all of that. I heard people saying that in all these commentaries, but man, maybe because I have experience with breaking up.
you got a breaking up complex.
Hey, they let him go like they let James Comey go.
Yep.
Who? Like who, Rick?
James Tony.
James Comey, the FBI
FBI
director.
director. Yeah.
Oh man, we living in the Trump era, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You're fired. So if people go along to get along, I guess. I don't know.
And he never fires him. He always has somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
He never does it directly.
Who is this?
But
Trump, he never fires anybody directly. He always has somebody else to do it.
Oh.
talking about Trump.
Well, we were talking a little bit about basketball. Any of you guys want to mention the Oklahoma City Thunder?
I do.
Go ahead.
I think they have a great chance if they keep playing the way they playing of breaking the record. They might win more than 72 games. Isn't it 72 games? Is the record?
Yeah, 72 is the record.
I think they got a good chance because every time I look at the scores, ain't nobody challenging them. It's like,
Well, the head of the snake, which is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, set out last night with an
and they
elbow.
still won. He set out the rest.
He has an elbow injury,
Oh, okay.
and two other starters out. So we had three starters out last night. Him, Lou Dort, the best on-ball defender in the game, and Isaiah Hartenstein, our center, who was averaging a double-double. They won the game by 30 points.
What's wrong with Hardenstein?
He's got a calf injury.
Okay.
But he's been out for the last 3 or 4 games.
Right.
And Dort has an adductor strain, and Shea, I guarantee you, Shea will be there when we go to the game Wednesday night. What you think, for the NBA Cup? He'll be back.
Oh, what we could is it true that Oklahoma City has the rights to the first draft choice?
We got Clippers. We got the Clippers choice, and the Clippers are 5-16. They're the third from the bottom. So right now we have a 12.5% chance of getting the first pick in the draft. We're definitely going to get a lottery pick because it's an unprotected pick.
Ah.
And we got another pick coming from New Orleans that was a part of that draft, and we got 2 picks of our own due to trade. So we got 4 first-round draft picks next year.
Well,
and one of them is going to be a lottery pick.
What do we need?
None of these guys can get on the floor.
Right.
We got 2 rookies right now. Our first-round draft choices ain't played a second. Not one single second. Our 2 first-round draft choices, well, they both got hurt, which was kind of convenient for us, but they wouldn't be on the floor.
Mm.
The depth is just incredible, and by far we have the best defense in the league. As we all know, defense wins championships. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. And then having a player to count every time we get in trouble. We got a guy averaging 32 points who has missed now 9 fourth quarters. They didn't play in the fourth quarter 9 times.
Now, what about Golden State? They've been saying that they've been playing pretty good the last few games.
Exactly, and without Steph.
Yeah.
They beat the Bulls last night 123-91 without Steph.
What's the Bulls' record?
9-13, something like that.
Oh, they're not a winning squad then.
They're not a winning
squad.
They're not
above 500.
No, they're not above. They started the season off like gangbusters, and then they've been struggling. But they don't defend well. They don't defend well.
Gotta be able to do that.
You gotta be able to do that if you want to win.
You can say that about a lot of teams, though, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. You know, they were talking about the Knicks today, which is, you figure the best teams in the East are the Knicks and Detroit.
Cleveland.
Cleveland been catching it. Cleveland's down there barely 500 for it. The problem with the Knicks and Detroit, the problem with the Knicks is the 2 best players are poor defenders. Carl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson.
Right.
They're very lackadaisical and very below average on
well,
defense.
You know, I think that was you. We were talking about, you know, at the first, Vegas had, you know, the Knicks as challengers.
Favored to win it all in the East.
Yeah.
I don't believe they can beat Detroit at this point because Detroit is playing some defense. And it's got some great young players led by Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State.
Right. Who's the coach at Cleveland now? I mean, at Detroit.
JB, is it Bickerstaff?
Bickerstaff? Yeah, I remember his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good coach, though.
Oh, he's a heck of a coach. Heck of a coach. Heck of a coach.
Okay.
So, you know, if my point is, if the Thunder were in LA or New York or even Chicago or Philly, that's all you'd be hearing.
Right.
That's all you'd be hearing. Now Vegas is on our side. The players themselves and the analysts, they finally come around, but it's just like it's the best kept secret in basketball what's going on with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm so privileged to be a part of it and to get to watch them up close and personal, man. It's such a thrill.
Right.
And the killing part about it, we're young.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Kendrick Perkins like to say, we don't have the one guy in his prime, and that's Shea. And I'm not certain that at 27 and 28 is when guys usually hit their prime in all the professional sports, at least basketball and football. He's gotten even better than he was last year because he's making that 3-ball. I said it last year that if he improves his 3-point shot, he's already ridiculous because he's got the best mid-range game in basketball. He shoots 90% from the line, shoots 55% from the field, and now this year he's up to 44% from 3. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know, we're a small market team, but
Yeah.
making a lot of noise in
Well,
that
but I
league.
think a lot of it too is that that's not. I mean, we're not just dunking on everybody and and all that show that people like. And you look at Oklahoma City, they just don't stop.
Yeah, they're just relentless.
Yeah, they're just regular, and there's nothing fantastic about it. But they're gonna be the same thing. You can depend on them to be the same thing every night.
Right. And when they go to the bench, it's just no significant drop off whatsoever.
Oh no, that's the same player. Whoever comes in for somebody is the same player, really.
Same guy.
Yeah.
So Rick, what do you got to say?
You know, I'd say Shea's confidence is infectious. I mean, a lot of those cats are pretty young, but the fact that Shea is so confident and smooth with his abilities, I think it, I think he gives everybody else the utmost confidence. Even uh, what's the center's name? The tall,
Get
skinny cat.
home.
Yeah, I mean, this dude has all the confidence in the world. I mean,
Oh yeah.
even Reggie has all the confidence in the world. Those guys, they feel they could beat anybody. Well,
Did
Oh yeah.
obviously they can beat
you
any league.
you make such a good?
But
That's a good point though,
Mm-hmm.
because
yeah,
it's yeah they do sort of copy his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, he's infectious. You know, they say, man, this guy makes it look so easy. He's confident with everything he does.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, even if he has a bad game, it doesn't change for the next one. He's ready to come with it.
But
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
what I'm saying is that he doesn't. We don't get a lot of bravado because he's not. Shea is not that physically impressive. You got to see him. We just know that what he does well, and he does usually.
right. And
And
he doesn't. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm just saying this is what why people don't respect. Of course, they're going to have to respect after this year,
Mm-hmm.
and probably next year
Yeah,
too. But
yeah,
they have to respect them. But I'm just saying the reason they don't get the respect that they deserve is because they don't scare you in the sense of we
They're
just gonna
not
beat
physically imposing. Yeah.
right, exactly.
yeah,
Right.
But they
yeah,
will beat you.
Can beat you
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
And Shea is showing you that you don't have to, you know, beat up your teammates like Jordan and Kobe and Chris Paul and whoever else.
Oh,
He
they're like
showed
brothers.
he lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
Silent killers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak, they do it. Go out
Yeah.
and just
yeah.
do it.
That's what I like about him. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not super flashy like Jordan or Kobe
no,
and
Mm-hmm.
all those high flyers, but
right,
he gets the job done.
right,
Night after
I
night.
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
What what
I
what
mean,
what
to me, he's unstoppable.
what's so cold? They don't play him on TV enough. You
Right.
on national TV enough. Second, you got to turn the Peacock or Prime.
Man, I hate that. I
Yeah,
hate
man. I mean, you are wanting to watch the game and it's on Prime. If you ain't got Prime, you can't watch it.
Peacock. You know, a lot of people have Prime because of Amazon, but ain't nobody got Peacock. I happen to have it, but I mean, most people don't have all those streaming
I don't
stations.
have it. I got Prime.
Yeah,
I had Peacock when it was free.
I heard that.
I didn't even have it then.
Guys,
It ain't free no
that's about
more.
it for me. Anything else?
No, I'm going getting ready to go watch this the end of this Chargers
Yeah,
Philadelphia game.
yeah. The Chargers are up 7-3 right now. This is
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Speaking of the NFL, we talked about it earlier. Um, I was spent Thanksgiving dinner at my niece's house, and she we were watching the Dallas Kansas City game, and in Oklahoma City, Dallas is the king. It's about Dallas and OU here in Oklahoma City. Well, a bunch of us in our group are Kansas City fans, and I would prefer. I'm a Kansas City fan myself, even though Pittsburgh Steelers are my team, and we're not gonna win nothing. Even though we've got back in first place in our division, we ain't winning nothing. If we get into the playoffs, we're one and done. But my oldest niece's husband is from Dallas, and he was all geeked about the game and geeked about the Cowboys beating Kansas City. And I said, nephew, let me tell you something, dog. Ain't neither one of them going to the Super Bowl, number one. Number two, the chances of either one of them making the playoffs is like slim to none. They're both like in the 8 to 10% chance of making the playoffs. If they do, they'll be one and done because they're not what they used to be. It's just that simple.
No. Well,
and Kansas City has ruled the NFL for the last 7, 8 years. They've won the NFC West 7 years in a row.
Right.
They're not going to make the playoffs. Neither will Dallas.
Well, my attitude about that is it's time.
It's time, yes. We need new blood.
Right.
We need new blood. And Philadelphia, the Super Bowl winner, barely hanging on.
Hey.
Barely hanging on. Even though they're leading their division, and they'll get in the playoffs for sure. But
did they lose their lineman though, their key lineman?
Yeah, they've lost some key linemen. You know, in my mind, the Rams are the best team in football. In my mind, it comes down to the Rams or Seattle. But I've always liked the Rams because I've always liked LA teams.
Yeah.
Back in the days they had Dick Bass, and then back when they had the days that they had Rosie Greer and all those guys, and even when they had Kurt Warner and the Greatest Show on Turf, I've always been a Rams fan, kind of. And they be doing it.
Yeah.
I think Stafford's going to win the MVP. 37-year-old.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford. He's probably the favorite to win the MVP.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking that until they went out there and lost to Carolina. I was like,
Yeah, Carolina's much improved, number one, Port. Number two, the thing about the NFL that says not for long, and that in any given Sunday, that movie with Pacino and Jamie Foxx is so true in the NFL. And the NFL is the epitome of parity in a professional league. Almost any team can beat you if you don't bring your A game, and particularly on the road. Almost any team in the NFL can beat you.
Well, that proves to be right this year.
Mm-hmm. Right. But on a given Sunday, now when it gets to the playoffs, that's a whole different story. Okay. Whole different story. But during the regular season, the Rams are so far ahead.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing too, because I want to see somebody good inside Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Right. Even though Mahomes is probably my favorite player in the league, it's time for somebody else. Dallas is just, man, don't. They haven't been in the NFC Championship game since '95, but they're still relevant because of the marketing. They're the number one sports franchise not in the United States, but in the world.
I know.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
They got this redneck racist Jerry Jones, Trump-loving Jerry Jones is the head of the snake. They got 30 teams in the 32 teams in the NFL. All 31 of them have a general manager except the Dallas Cowboys. And you wonder why they keep failing? They got a drunkard, racist old clown running the show and calling shots about what's going on the football field.
Yeah, but he's doing what he wants to do.
It's his money. He said, I'm going to make those decisions.
Right.
I'm the one cutting checks.
Right.
But the key thing with Dallas, though, they're still making more money than anybody in the league because they got a packed house every night.
Yeah.
And as Stephen A. Smith says, it's not the Cowboys themselves or the players, and I don't even like the players myself, even though I can't stand them. It's about Jerry Jones making money because the house is full every time they show up. Dallas fans are delusional. They still think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
They got an 8% chance to make the playoffs. That's like Stephen A. Smith says, I don't dislike Dallas. I dislike the Dallas Cowboy fans.
Right. Those are my
that defense is suspect though.
Not suspect, it's horrific. It's horrible.
I was trying to be nice.
And you know what? The worst part of their defense is the secondary, and they have the highest paid corners in the league. They got $40 million worth of cornerbacks. They playing Deron Bland, $21 million. They playing Trayvon Diggs, who hadn't played in the last 3 games, $19 million for cornerbacks. And they name ought to be toast and jelly because they're getting barbecued every Sunday.
Toast.
Just getting woe out. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. But
getting fried.
Yep. Guys, that's all I got.
Okay. Good seeing you guys.
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Want to close us out, dog?
Yeah. Let me share something with everybody before we go.
You're on mute. We can't hear you. Unmute your mic, Rashaki.
Let me share something with everyone, please.
Okay. You're on mute again.
I know. I'm looking for it. I'm gonna find it real quick.
Okay.
And I found it. Share the screen. All right. So check this out. We've been doing this, the CEN show, for 5 years. On Wednesday, we're celebrating our 5th year, completing 5 years of the CEN show. And on December 10th, 2020, Professor Rahh was our first guest. And he's going to be honored on Wednesday. So you guys can make it. Oh, I know, Ronnie, you guys got a game, so I know you can't make it.
Port and I will be at the NBA Cup game. I assure
Yeah.
you. Yes, I would definitely be there. And I want to invite Port to come on one of the CEN shows and share some of his knowledge, particularly with Black history and the civil rights movements. Him being a pioneering figure here in Oklahoma City, he'd be a great guest.
Oh, sure. I'd love to.
Well, that'll be great. We'll schedule him, Ronnie.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And he'd be a great guy to talk about being a pioneer in the civil rights movement in the sit-ins and his perspective on that. He'd be a great guy to have on the show as a guest.
Excellent.
And I will come
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
So we're gonna take our pause, and thanks a lot, everybody, for attending. Professor Rahh, Rick, Port,
Right.
Ronnie, thank you for hosting. And we're gonna do this again whenever Ronnie say let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Tentatively, I like to do it every Monday because that's a good time for you and for me as well. So we'll try to do it on Mondays if we can.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it whenever we.
Rick, thank you for coming on as always, Professor Rahh.
Sure.
Right.
Definitely.
Good seeing you, Rick.
Good.
Yeah, you too, Port.
Brother.
All right.
Good to see you.
I want to end with what Rashaki always says: each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
All right.
Peace.